So, I mean, I'm also looking for feedback from you guys on the chat. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, but I'm here to discuss about Bitcoin and Bitcoin, how to start, what it is now, and all of the things that tie it together. There is a few ideas and concepts out there that Bitcoin is going to the moon, just like everything. I mean, and not everything is really going to the moon. Even spaceships fail and crash sometimes. I mean, is it going to last forever? And that's the big question. Like, I want to invest in Bitcoin ever since 2008. Ever since 2009, I've always wanted to invest in Bitcoin. Imagine if I bought 100 Bitcoins in 2009 for what it was, like 30 cents a piece, $1 a piece. And it was like chump change to even buy it. But why didn't I buy it back then? This is really what I'm going to start talking about right now. At the moment, I want to discuss Bitcoin, the technology, and value. People are putting their money into value. So is this really a valuable asset to put your money into, or is it something that is a pump and dump scheme that's actually very intricate and was played over a 10-year period or a 20-year period? This is some stuff that we need to discuss right now, and why, what is really happening. Why did it reach 60,000? What are these numbers or values that it's reaching? Are these arbitrary, or are these set by certain groups, or are these set by the social aspect of the entire system? We're going to discuss that right now, because I think a lot of people have a few misconceptions about Bitcoin and crypto and technology. And I'm going to start from the beginning. We're going to talk about money and we're going to talk about technology all in one chapter. So I'm just kind of looking over there to see my comments and my comment box. It's pretty dead. So anyways, it doesn't matter. You guys are going to watch this later. However, I'm a pretty brand new YouTuber here on this channel. You guys can check out my other channel with 100,000 followers. I do repair systems and motherboards, and I'm a pretty, I'm a tech guru. Here, you can see, boom. Open, systems here that are opened up, waiting for repair and things like that. I need a little bit of water. Give me a second, guys. So what is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? What is a code? What is it? It's a piece of code, right? Somebody wrote a piece of code. That piece of code is running, and it's running on distributed systems, and it's doing some stuff. We'll talk about that stuff later. But what is code? What is code? Code is a set of pieces of information that you supply to a computer or a microchip, and it reads those pieces of codes, and it goes sequentially. Sometimes concurrently, based if it's a chip that's pipelined or anything like that, but that's we're going somewhere too deep. Let's talk about it sequentially. It goes line by line and reads the code and processes it. When it reads that code, processes it, it hashes it, and creates something called a blockchain. Each block is depending on the previous block, and it keeps on growing and growing and growing. Today it's like 300 or whatever megabytes. Let's go and check out how big it is right now. Bitcoin blockchain size. I am a terrible typer on this little computer, so thank goodness for Google AI to be able to type for me. So let's look at the blockchain size right now. What is the blockchain size? So here's a graph of that thing that was growing ever since the beginning. It's a chain of a set of blocks that they write. In order for me to explain the ups and downs of this whole entire thing, we'd have to really discuss what Bitcoin. You guys really need to understand the technology behind it before you go out there and invest in your money into something that you really don't understand, but it's going to the moon. So everybody's just going to the moon with it. I'm not sure if you guys really know what's going on. So this is kind of for noobs and experts alike. I am a microchip designer by degree, so I completely understand the whole idea and the concept behind Bitcoin. So the blockchain is increasing, and all the transactions are in on this chain. There are a few drawbacks on downfalls of Bitcoin. You can't do more than 6 transactions a second or 3 transactions a second. Somebody can correct me, but it's a very low number. Your Visa can, your Visa card can do probably 160,000 a minute or something like that. So that's also another problem. I'm all over the place with this because I really don't have the structure down like all of the YouTubers. Maybe this is my first YouTube. I'm kind of learning how to get this out there to you guys and to understand what's going on. So this chain is forever going to grow. So one of the drawbacks is that, in 50 years, I'm talking about forever. I'm not talking about the 10-year, short hold or 5-year or whatever like that. You're gonna put Bitcoin in for your family and your kids, right? Well, you want to know if this is going to last forever. Is a house going to last forever? No, 250 years, and then, the bricks are going to fall. Silver, does that last forever? Yes, it does. Gold, does it last forever? Yes, it does. That's the thing that I'm going to start talking to you about, between the virtual hype and the actual value of the monetary system. And nobody's actually watching right now, which is okay. But when you do get to this part, you're going to realize that, hold on, I've been paying $50,000 for a coin that's been written and printed by hashes and algorithms and things of that nature, that is going to stay there, and its value is only in the electricity that was spent on it. Because the longer and the more time this system keeps on going, there is something called the difficulty rate, and difficulty always keeps on going up and up. It's never going to go down ever. The difficulty of the mining a Bitcoin right now is, let's see, what is the network difficulty? It's between the hash rates. I mean, back in the days, this was in like the mega hashes. When I was playing around, we were right here, like 1.3 million hashes. Right now, we're at 21 trillion. It's making it seem like the more, like, this is the point of collapse in a sense. It's like the time where the technology won't really sustain anymore. But I'm going to tell you why it went up very recently. I'm going to tell you exactly why it went up very recently. Let's take a look into the technology itself and how it happened. In the beginning, you used to be able to mine it via GPUs and small crappy things. And around 2013, a company called Butterfly created the first ASIC miner. And that's a jump, a leap, because that was a application-specific integrated chip, which is ASIC, which is an application-specific microchip that does specifically one thing, that hash. When you have a microchip in your computer, that is a general consumer microchip, which is, the i7, the i3, the i5. That's a regular consumer microchip, and that has all kinds of different things to do a lot of different things, and it's not efficient in the hash rate. So they created in 2013 something called the ASIC chip. Which is not called the ASIC chip. It's a Butterfly, and the ASIC is an application-specific integrated circuit, and they created that chip specifically for the hashing of Bitcoins. Great. So what happened? The day of release, and we see this all the time, the day of release of a new technology that is able to take the same power consumption, the same electricity consumption, however, give us more performance on this algorithm, which is called the cryptocurrency algorithm, gives us more performance on that algorithm. They were able to increase the price. So the people that have been in the BTC or the Bitcoin entire thing from like 2007, Satoshi and his friends, whoever they are, they're holding HODL, HODL, whatever you guys are doing online these days. It's pretty strange. Wish you the best with AMC and GameStop and all those other ones. But they're holding, and it's the same concept. If somebody's holding something, the rest of the stuff, people will start to fight for that stuff, and that stuff is going to be more expensive. If I hold all of the water of the world and I give you 10% of it for the rest of the world is going to start fighting for that 10%, and that one water is going to be very expensive. But I'm holding 90% of it, so now I'm very, very wealthy. So that is a little bit of a strange drawback of cryptocurrencies. So we keep on moving forward. The hash rates, are increasing, and they're getting, better and better and better. And what happened recently was something called the Cockatoo 32 algorithm. So you guys are probably thinking, what the fuck? I never heard of this. If you don't know anything about freaking Bitcoin and how these algorithms are working or anything like that, don't get hyped and just buy into it. It makes no sense. However, if you do think that you want to buy into it, go ahead. That's your decision. I wish I took my negative decision and actually bought in 2009. Hey, I'm slapping myself in the face right now. I should have been a multi-billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I would have had 1,000 Bitcoins or some really weird number, and today it would have been a different story. But I'm not. I just work on motherboards, so I fix motherboards today. So I kind of do know about the technology. However, I'm telling you guys, if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, I'm giving you the understanding of what's going on. And the reason it did go up right now is because of the release of Cockatoo 32. It's a freaking algorithm that was released on 8 chips. So let's go open up how valuable is... There's a website out there. I should have done this research before. How valuable is Antminer 9 Plus or something like that. There's a bunch of websites that do these. Minerupdate.com or something like that. No, it's not. Not really following this stuff because the technology is going to stay the same forever. It's not like it's ever going to change. I understand that I understood it a long time ago, and now it's just getting higher and higher in value, and the hash rates are getting to, crazy amounts. 14 terahashes in this little thing. Unbelievable amount of hash rate in this little small thing compared to what people were thinking about, back in the days. This was the whole entire freaking pool. The pool was less than this entire thing, the Antminer. So what happens is these things start to decrease in value. So you're going to see here the miner profitability. So here is if you bought this miner, you'll be making 34 a day, and the math is all there based on the kilowatt hours and how long you're going to run it and the price of the Bitcoin of that day, and all of this is updated. So you're going to see here that all of this stuff here on the bottom is obsolete. All of this. So anybody that owns any of this and is mining right now is making negative money. You'd better just throw it in the garbage. So there's so much e-waste that is being created. Like I'm in the repairs industry, guys. So I'm in the repairs industry. My job is that an iPhone or a PlayStation or a motherboard doesn't end up in the trash in the e-waste. What's happening right now is that we're creating an entire industry that is completely taking up a lot of electricity and technology and things that will not be used again for any purpose other than hashing stuff. So if somebody out there is able to put this stuff to use for hashing algorithms for certain things, let's say the bionic it doesn't even, you can't even use that for that. The Boink. I'm not sure if anybody here has ever used Berkeley's software to utilize the processing power for them to be able to solve certain mathematical equations that allow them to model certain diseases, model malaria, certain proteins, things of that nature. Could this stuff be used for these causes? Maybe. I don't know. But right now, all of this is e-waste. Talking about the negative. The positive, all of this stuff, 55 cents a day, 66 cents, all this stuff is e-waste. And the price of Bitcoin, if it was not at 50,000, this would not be making 140 a day. So you have to understand, this is a $60,000 or $50,000 or $40,000 machine that somebody's investing into, that's trying to make that money. And so he's going to hold onto the 90% for the people to fight over the 10% of water. It's going to have value in order for him to keep on mining. This whole equation is screaming and running for utter failure. I haven't seen a worse use for technology ever in human life. I've never seen it. This is the most inefficient use. Like, we in technology, when we work at a company or we work at a certain spot, we try to make the computers be as efficient as possible to reduce costs, to reduce things, to make sure that the system is working 99% of the time. A lot of these different factors. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, are so inefficient at what they do. They are becoming super inefficient to the point that, you have to have other newer algorithms. And are we going to run out of new algorithms? Yes, we will. We saw it with a lot of different technologies when it comes to graphics, when it comes to the i9 and the i whatever processors. They're actually running into the problem that the transistors are, the speed of light is the issue. The information has to move at the speed of light, because electrons kind of move at the speed of light c. So the information, we've reached the limit of light in the amount of processing that we can handle. Bitcoin is the most inefficient on a really downhill slope of not being able to keep up with its own demand. Its own demand is to have a hash that is a certain quality of zeros in the beginning, which is called entropy, which is the least, it has the most entropy. So that will not make it work. And so from my perspective, Bitcoin is going to crash, whether in 10 years, 30 years. Somebody can, you can keep stretching something if you control it. So if you want the people not to fight over the water, go throw another 10% into the puddle. You know what I'm saying? Get them a little, excited a little bit. Things are kind of Gucci. So I am very sorry to tell everybody that Bitcoin is one of those Ponzi-ish schemes. Satoshi is one of those group names. And yeah, that's kind of my take on it from a technology guy that's actually a microchip designer. I'll tell you more about me later, and maybe in the future you'll get to see more of me and how I kind of see this world and what's happening here. Maybe I'll change your mind. Maybe you'll change mine. But I don't see anybody on the comment box. However, thanks for the 3 people that watched me live today. I'm sure I know that people are going to watch this later again. Have a good time. Have a good day. I'm going to go back to repairing some motherboards.